Well, hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back here to Velocity Online Racing, and welcome back to the International IndyCar League. This is round number 10 of this season. Although it has now gone the way of the Dodo Bird in real life, this track was the host of some amazing racing from the 90s all the way through to the track's dying day back in 2023. And Sébastien, I think we are going to be in store for quite the fun evening of racing action. About to get a green flag here for race number 10 of this championship. The green flag flies, and we're racing here at Auto Club Speedway, and Roden F-Tink gang off to a flyer as he leads the pack down into turn number 1. Everybody rather tame at the moment, seeing single file racing grab most of the pack, but it's only a matter of time. It's only heading into turn number 3 when we finally see racers start to duke it at, Sébastien.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be drafting like we saw yesterday at the velocityonlineracing in Michigan.
As we ride on board with Brian Violas, already jumping his way inside of the top 10. Should be noted that Heitzma actually started this race with an EOL, so he got sent to the back of the pack. But already seeing these drivers get a little bit brave in the moves they're trying to attempt. Bit of a warning shot here in this race, Sébastien, about how tricky the pit lane is going to be between the entry, between running through the pits itself and trying to hit your marks down there in your pit box. There are so many moving pieces when it comes to executing a pit stop well here in this race that you gotta wonder how long it'll be until somebody eventually goofs up. Seeing Callum Ford try and take the race lead here from West, these drivers looking to get the early race jitters out of their system before they have to execute there in pit lane. Ford, your race leader, Christensen, though, looking for something as they're scrambling a little bit farther behind there. Eck nearly ended in tears, seeing drivers wiggle around the racetrack. That was your at 1 point leader of West, who briefly ran down there on the apron. That is real dangerous territory. We'll have to see whether that is the case. We'll let you know here on this broadcast when we get to affirmative word.
Whoa.
But at the moment, oh my goodness me, we are already playing with fire.
That was West, and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, thank you very much. If I start doing too much math while on the air, my entire broadcast room fills up with smoke. As you see this from Ford, take a look right behind, actually right alongside him there. That is a bold call from Shrid. He was all the way down there up against the inside fence trying to get the move done. A for effort. Let's take a look at this pit entry there, cutting all the way down to the bottom, trying to straight line the approach as much as he possibly can. Has to drop the anchors. Does not get the nose at, but I think he gained himself a boatload of time. That's crafty. I like that. I think F-Tink will just get the nose out in front of Pim Van Gestel, in front of Brian Violas, as here we go, Jason Lowe able to blow their doors off. As much as Lowe was all by himself there, took the high road, and as a result of that, look where he is. He's now holding on to the race lead with a nearly 1 second margin between himself and the 44. In a little side-by-side tussle, heading our way across the stripe to start yet another lap. This is getting really, really antsy. Hey, may as well gamble. Go down pit lane, don't take tires, take fuel only. Track position can make a whole lot of difference. Doesn't matter if you're the leader of a pack, you're still going to get chewed up and spat at. But if you can break away from the draft and build like a 1.5 to 2 second margin of the drivers behind you, forget about it. I don't think you'll be able to catch you up. It is so easy to lose time in the pits. It's also so easy to gain it if you play your cards right. Yeah, trying to stretch it as much as they possibly can. As here we go. They're finally breaking away and coming into the pits. Take a look at that for the 10 as Violas. Oh, my goodness me. Going to have to take the high road. Avoids the pit attenuator by a matter of inches, but this is going to be sketchy. That apron is so dusty and dirty, and this is going to be a slow crawl down in pit lane. He's either going to have to pick up a penalty in order to have enough speed to get down there to the end of the pits, or he's just going to not be able to make it at all. There you can see it just overshooting it a little bit, and that one little mistake can make a massive difference.
Yeah, like he lost 20 seconds in that whole ordeal, probably. Came in too hard.
He's going to try and flip the coupon and get a 3-for-1 deal there up on the top side. At least going to get one overtake done as West going to break away and come into the pits. Now side by side with himself and Strid heading our way across the line. That could be a preview of the finish that we're going to have in this race.
Because F-Tink just used the full battery there to shoot up to the front like he did.
We got those two running in your top spots. Right now, your P3 runner is Brian Violas, who was able to hitch a ride with those drivers and enjoy the draft. As here we go, F-Tink trying to load up there in pit lane, stomps on the brake pedal. I think he may have slowed it down just in time.
And by the way, Brian still has to pit because he got offset due to the mishaps. And oh my god, look at how far Van Gastel is.
Van Gastel sinking down like a rock. That was a tragic run through pit lane here. Let's take a look at this from Roden Eftink as he heads his way down in pit lane.
Perfect.
That was textbook.
It do be quite snappy. And that explains why Pim was so far.
Bucking me like a cherry as he has now come down into pit lane. Eftink now up into the top spot. You can take everything that I said, run through a paper shredder, and then throw that shredder straight into a wood chipper. Riding on board once more with Pim Van Gastel. I think he has a good shot to win here in that number 10 car, but you can really say that about everybody involved in this pack. Really, it all depends on a couple of things. A driver's bravery and how much hybrid they've got.
The power of hybrid.
Ooh, as he got super tight there, heading his way off through turn number 3 and 4. Very lucky to keep that car out of the cars around him. 2 to go here at the line. 4 miles left to decide this. And it's once again side by side here up in the front. Jason Lowe looking for a little bit more. He's on the low side, takes the race lead. Now we're going to have a little side by side fight going on behind him potentially as David Strid slips into second place. Now he catches a draft, trying to hitch a ride up towards the front of the field. We're going to fan out to 3 wide as we head our way down the back straightaway. This could maybe end in tears if these drivers can't keep it smooth, but all I know is one thing for sure. The tension's going to be high as these drivers see that there's only 2 miles left to decide this thing. White flag out in the air here at Auto Club. One more lap of racing action here tonight, and it's 3 wide. Formation flying, heading into turn number 1. Lowe, still your race leader, but he's going to be stalled out. We saw Roden Eftink run a fantastic call on the hybrid earlier on. He could maybe try and make a miracle work once more. Lowe stalling out. Strid, Eftink, both with a mighty run. Van Gastel maybe thought about making it 4 wide as they headed their way into 3 and 4 for the final time. Jason Lowe going to be up in the front, but keep an eye on the cars behind, hunting behind, looking to try and make it work. They're not going to be there in time. Contact across the stripe. Massive accident there. My goodness me. Christensen on his side. Lowe wins it. Yeah, coming back from eye surgery a matter of a couple of weeks ago. He was one of my favorites to win last race of the season at Iowa. And he finally pulls through and gets it done here at a very different track in the form of Auto Club. Going to burn it down there. Here we go. Here it was, heading our way out of the stripe. You can see it's Lowe leading. Nobody else was able to get a good run, although Roden Eftink thought about it. Christensen was the one that kind of sent him up there. There's a contact, pops him up on his wheels. He's up in the air and on his side as he heads his way across the line. Ends up on the outside barrier. Grinds there for a while and ends up landing back on all fours. A wild ride here and a wild race at Auto Club for Roden Eftink. The best view of it all is Roden Eftink when he finally got off the barrier and didn't flip down the banking. He just landed it rather gracefully and drove on like it was nothing.
Oh yeah, my God, yeah. Yep. This is me. You're probably wondering how I got here.
Yeah, downshifting into first, that'll make a big difference, and sticks the landing.
Whoa!
Is Jason Lowe getting his first victory here in quite some time. David Strid comes across the stripe there in P2. Roden Eftink rounds out your podium in third, despite the fact he was actively wrecking as he headed his way across the line. John Christensen comes across the stripe there in fourth, fitting a result for the driver of the number 44 car. Pim Van Gastel will be in P5. Ryan Bowles will be in sixth. Dan Ench is in seventh. Anthony Heitzma is in eighth. Mike West, what could have been for the driver of the number 69 car, could have won this race, ends up down in ninth, really last of the cars to be involved in the fight. Rick Lovinson, who had a very quiet night there in the number 9 machine, ends up completing your top 10. Just a few more drivers towards the back. Many of these racers running into trouble. Callum Ford just did not have good rub of the green when it came to strategy. He ends up in 11th. Brian Fiolis, who is involved in a very close call coming into the pits, thought he could have gone to top 5, instead walks away with 12th. Noah Gill, only DNF from this race, had a penalty early after starting from the pits and decided to park it shortly thereafter. 13 drivers started this race. I believe it was just 12 coming across the line, although Fiolis may have called it quits about a lap away from the checkered flag. But either way, Sebastian, what a race that we were just treated to here at Auto Club.